What is up? Today we will be working on the RX7 FD. We're gonna adjust the ride height, and I got a couple of my boys coming through, so you know it's gonna be a good vlog. It's gonna be lit, be a banger. No, I'm just playing, but it's gonna be good. So let's get to it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and lift up the car, remove the wheels. That way we could get to the coilovers. So I'll be right back. All right, the wheel is off. Now it's time to lower the coilovers. Alright, so since these coilovers right here are already all the way down, what I need to do is move this up. And then once I move this up, I could continue to spin this whole section downward, if that makes any sense. Alright, so it's ready, and I tightened up this helper spring right here. I basically moved this up to tighten this, the exact size that I needed it to be. And then I went ahead and tightened the top one and this middle one right here together, loosened up the bottom one, and twisted it all the way down to make the springs go lower. So with that being said, the spring is now lowered, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same to the other side, and then I'll come back and show you guys what it looks like. Alright, so it's been a couple of hours and I was just trying to sort this thing out. So I guess when I put the helper springs up, I lowered the car and it was about still the same height. So that was basically the lowest point it could go. So I ended up removing the helper springs and we did get a little bit more room. As you can see, it did go a lot lower. I'm still waiting on the car to settle down and see how much lower it goes, since I can't drive the car right now. Because when you lower the car, you either have to hit the handbrake up, I don't know if you've heard of that, or just drive it around the block, get the springs adjusted, but I cannot do that because the car isn't running right now. So I'm just gonna let it sit for a day, and then I'm gonna come back to it and show you guys how much lower it got. Maybe in the next video I'll show you guys how much lower it got. But I did remove the helper springs. I had to remove the whole coilover setup. As you can tell, my hands are all messed up, all dirty. So I had to take the coilovers off. I had to take them apart, remove the helper spring, put them back together, and put them back in the car. So I did that on both sides. And the difference is amazing. I mean, there's still like, I would say like a 3/4 inch gap. There's still about an inch gap there. But, I mean, so far it's right about the right height that I wanted it. Maybe just a tad bit lower would be perfect. The car looks way better lowered. I wish I could lower it a little bit more. Maybe down the road I'm just gonna have to go ahead and get airbags. And sadly my friends didn't come today because it's raining outside and they're being pussies. So this video will not be a banger. But on the other hand, the car is lowered, not where I want it to be, but if I had airbags, I would just press a button, the car would go up and down, instead of spending hours and hours adjusting the coilovers, removing them, taking off the helper springs, putting them back on. So that would have saved me a bunch of time. So for the meantime, this is good right here. Hopefully it goes down a little bit more, and maybe down the road I'll get some airbags, or maybe different coils that allow me to lower the car a little bit more. But with all the expensive parts that I have in the rear and am gonna have in the front and the sides, I might as well go with airbags just so I don't ruin any of that stuff, because all these parts are expensive. So I might just end up going with bags later on down the road. Who knows, we'll see. But in the meantime, this will do. All right, so you guys saw how the car sits and it looks pretty good. I mean, there's still a lot of room to play with, but to me, I don't really like that gap. But it doesn't look too bad as it did before. So I'm like kind of happy, kind of not. And I don't know if it's something I did with the coilovers, if I did something wrong by removing the helper spring, or if I could have adjusted the helper spring or the coilovers in a different manner in order to lower the car more. But I did bottom out the bottom end of it and that's how low the car goes without the helper spring. So if I did something wrong, or because I'm not an expert on coilovers, so if I did something wrong, go ahead and comment down below and I'll go ahead and reply to you guys. But as far as I know, I did it right, as far as I know. And I still need the rest of the body pieces to make it all look good and complete. Once I do that, I'll probably get the wrap and then rewrap all the panels. That's probably won't be till the end, until the car is up and running and everything is all dialed in. So until then, I'm just gonna let the car be, and little by little I'll start working on it. As I mentioned in previous videos, I'll do a little bit of work to this car here and there. We do have a lot of work left on it, but it's nothing that we can't handle. But in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and start building that S13 outside. So I'm still waiting for some parts from Shine Auto, or maybe they're waiting on me because I'm still a little bit short on cash on that end to go pick up those parts. So I'm probably gonna wait like a month or two, then go ahead and head down there and pick up those parts. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully they let us see the warehouse. I do have something planned pretty soon for the S13. If you guys stay tuned for that, you guys will see what I'm talking about. And I did end up selling the KA24DE engine that was on that 240 already, so we're gonna get things moving along. They already paid me, but they still haven't came to remove the engine. They're gonna come remove it themselves. But once they get here, I'll try to make a time lapse. That's if I'm even here while they're doing it. Of course, someone's gonna be here watching them. Another thing I wanted to mention is that Sony did come through on his end, and he did DM me about the shift knob, so he's gonna get that over to me. So thank you very much for that, Sony. I truly appreciate it. And with that being said, look at this wing though. I think this thing is taller than I am. Once I get the pieces from Shine Auto Project, this car's gonna look just that much better just with that alone. And hopefully we get the ball rolling on this. We're gonna definitely get the ball rolling on the 240SX, and a lot of work is to come on that car and a lot of videos, so please stay tuned, stay updated. We're gonna make that car look like crap to snap. Hey, no, I'm just playing, but we're gonna make that car look good, really good. So just stay tuned for that. I don't know what color to go with yet. If you guys have any input on the colors, just comment down below, even though I have an idea of what I'm gonna do either way. So I would just like to hear what you guys have to say about the color, see what colors you guys think would look good on the 240, but I can't quite yet visualize the color on the car until all the body panels are in place, or I know what kit I'm gonna go with. So until then, we'll leave the color towards the end, and I'm not gonna do it like this one where I wrap it while I'm still working on it. I'm just gonna wait till the very end before I wrap that car. That way we don't mess up any panels in the process of installing stuff, which I learned a lot from this car, having to redo a couple different panels. So with that being said, I'm gonna end this video here. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ed Range, keep on rotating. Peace.